Watch who?
Hello, and welcome to Two Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
And I'm new to watching Who.
Watching for the very first time.
Like a virgin.
Ooh.
Hey!
That's a new one. That took me by surprise.
Yeah.
Wow, there we go.
I just like mix it up just for fun.
You
didn't know what to do with yourself.
Me, actually. I've woken up now.
That sums up this story.
Right. So it's the invasion this week. Do you know what? We haven't done a COVID update, which we used to do.
Yeah, that's
so true. Things now are about about a year ago, we were probably doing maybe The Chase. Ian and Barbara are probably just leaving.
No, they weren't just leaving now. Barbara and Ian did not leave after 2 months. They did a whole year. April,
May. It was sort of this time. We were still in lockdown a year ago, recording online and stuff.
I feel like they went in October.
No.
Oh.
No. Because Katerina was in the summer when we had that curry.
Oh.
Like when it was really hot. Yeah. It was boiling hot. Things are sort of opening up, aren't they? And
yeah.
We're still doing this.
We are still doing this.
We're busier this month.
Me and Mark are extra busy this month.
We're like the busiest ever. That's the difference, isn't it? Now we're sort of back in the world.
But actually, no.
Unbelievably busy.
Yeah, because this isn't even a normal month.
No, it's not even normal that we're like normally busy and we'll record.
All we ever do is try and schedule things.
At the end of this month, so this episode will go out end of May.
Yeah.
And it will be, if I've got my dates right, tomorrow, everybody, I will be going to a Doctor Who signing in Chiswick, a phantom signing to meet Susan Caroline Ford. And this will be the first signing I've gone since we've even done the podcast, since we did the podcast.
I know.
I wanted to go to things, I could show you pictures and say what happened and stuff, but I've just not been able to do that yet. So next week, I'll be able to...
Well, not next week, because...
On the podcast next week.
Podcast next...
Yeah.
But it's not next week now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Timey-wimey stuff is going on. Okay, in about 3 weeks, I'll be able to tell you all about my signing. So that's exciting. Things are happening, aren't they?
The world is busy again.
Usually I watch these way in advance.
Yeah,
and I'm checking in on you. Have you watched this episode yet or whatever? But you'd watched it before me.
Yeah.
And it didn't help that the invasion was 8 episodes.
8 episodes. 8 long, boring episodes.
Okay, then, here we go then. The invasion, 8 episodes long. 2 episodes are animated. And this was the first time they did that. This was the first release that they
good
animated.
Animation. The first thing I thought when I saw it was that's really good animation.
It's really good, isn't it? Considering this was 2006. This came out because I had
reminds me of Archer.
Well, it's well, then the next one they released quite a few years later. There was a big gap. Was The Reign of Terror.
Right, and that's very different.
Which was very different. Yeah, so it's surprising that this one seems like more modern than to be an early one. I got this DVD at university. I remember buying this and being really excited that they were animating these missing episodes. And I remember watching this because I had a TV in my room at uni, right?
Right.
But we did have a TV, but the TV kept going from the living room because we did video production and stuff. So the living room was usually whatever set or whatever. It was either a set of a music video we were working on or someone's short film. The living room just changed depending on what we were filming. But then whenever we had a project, we were like, right, we need to get some money. So the TV would go to cash converters.
Oh, wow.
Budget or stuff from the living room would go to cash converters.
Oh my God.
Go on the budget to make this music video for our uni. And then once our student loans come in, we go back to cash converters and get the TV back. So there wasn't always it, but I had a TV in my room, so people would come up and watch TV in my room.
What? Hang on, let's roll back here. That TV, was that one of yours TV or was it just the one that came with the house?
Oh, no, I think we first got... It didn't come with the house.
Okay. Because I just had this image now of you,
there was no furniture, nothing.
Oh, wow.
Moved in, nothing there at all. there was like this band after party. Someone knew someone that was in a band, and apparently the after party was at our house, but there was no furniture. So this coach load of people came from London, turned up my first night, like, in, and everyone was just sitting on the floor, and it was we managed to get some furniture. But yeah, there was nothing in there. I remember just sitting on the floor being like, there's a whole coach load of people coming in.
Did you have beds?
Oh yeah, we had beds.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I'm just talking about the living room here.
Right, okay, sorry.
Yeah. What was I talking? So I had The Invasion on DVD and watched it in my room.
Yeah.
But then people would come in quite a lot. So my housemate, I was upstairs, there was a sort of a living room and then a bedroom downstairs as well. Usually what would happen, we always had MSN Messenger on our computers back in the day.
Yeah,
it was always on. So you'd be asleep in the morning and then you'd hear, bloop, bloop, are you awake? And I'd be like, yeah. And then you'd hear someone coming up the stairs, be like, oh my God, this happened last night, blah, blah, blah. And then they would come in and open the curtains. I'd be like, okay. And then just tell me about whatever happened the day before. I'd be like, okay. But my point is, I was on the Doctor Who DVDs, on the menu, I try and skip the menu because it gives away spoilers. It's clips of what's going on. I would usually have the menu up and something, and someone would walk in my room and look at the TV, and it would be like this weird Doctor Who clip, and they'd be like, what are you watching? So on this one, there's a clip of Isobel and Zoe when the computer blows up in the reception, and they're like, ha ha ha. They do this really like sort of cackly laugh. I remember someone walking in and just looking, and then they were like, ha, that clip came up, and they were like, what are you watching? What is this? Anyway, I've gone on a tangent again.
That's probably the more interesting part of this entire story, so...
But yeah, that was good memories of watching TV. We watched Doctor Who when it was on in my room, everyone was there. And
The New Who.
The New Who, yeah.
New Who.
Because it was Doctor Who, and then it was when they were finding a Joseph. That
Of
time.
course it was,
So we
you're
watched
right.
Joseph, and then maybe we would go out after that. But everyone would be like, we'd all watch that.
Yeah.
We'd all watch Doctor Who. When Joseph was on, everybody was sort of in and out getting ready for the night out while Joseph was on, and then we'd all go out.
Who was Joseph in the end?
I can't remember
It was
who was Joseph,
Lee...
Oh, Lee Mead. Yeah,
Lee
Mead. But we'd always be like,
He was in Casualty
we'd watch the
recently.
Joseph go, and then we'd go out. Right, The Invasion. Back to.
Oh, yeah.
So Cybermen. Let's just talk about the Cybermen a minute, because it wasn't obvious that they were back.
You knew it was something.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that actor was Mavic Chen before, but I knew he'd been in it before. I couldn't work out where from. Like, I thought, you've been here before, you look familiar, and obviously we have a few throwbacks to, like, previous names, so I was like, were you another character? Like, I just couldn't put my finger on it. And when you said, oh, he was Mavic Chen, I was like, yes, that's it.
Oh, so we should say we watched most of this separately.
Yeah.
Because of scheduling. So you watched this you spread this out quite a bit. The 8 episodes.
I watched 1 to 3, which I thought were good, actually. 1 to 3 was really good. I didn't want to get ahead of myself, so I stopped. Little did I know. But I did 1 to 3, then had like a week off, and then did 4 to 6, and then we've just watched 7 and 8.
So what I was going to say, sorry, is were you surprised when the Cybermen turned up?
I knew something was going to turn up. I didn't know what.
Are you enjoying all these Cybermen? Because the Cybermen are back, like... Are you missing the Daleks at all after all these Cybermen stories?
No, I said to you though, didn't I? Well, that machine, I was like, what would be a great twist is actually that's the Daleks.
The cyber controller thing.
Yeah. That would be a funny twist. I don't know, the teamed up. But
slightly different design Cybermen again. They're getting better every time.
I'm not annoyed by the Cybermen. It's the fact that it took until the end of the 5th episode for them to appear. In an 8-part story.
But then if they had appeared first episode, you'd be getting bored of them by the time it finishes.
I don't need them first episode, but that just shows how much padding was in this story of 8, that it took them that long for the antagonist to appear. We knew that, like, the guy that was in charge... Well, I keep calling him Mavic Chen now. What's his name?
Tobias Vaughan.
Vaughan. I'll try and remember Vaughan.
Let's call him Vaughan.
Vaughan. I knew Vaughan wasn't the bad guy here, and he was like...
But at the beginning he is.
Yeah, but I knew he wasn't.
Well, he's talking to the cyber controller quite early on. In episode 1, he talks to that thing.
Does he talk in episode 1?
I remember, because it's animated.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. I knew even then, like, you're not the ultimate bad guy here. And it's Not to quote the extras that Mark accidentally left me with.
I know. So what? It happened again. I left Sarah upstairs just to set up the computer and stuff downstairs. I was like, I'll put this extra on the DVD. And they always do that. They do this, like, what did they say?
The very first thing they said was, the last season for this Doctor.
I know. And I was like, no. And I switched off the TV. And I was like...
I've already watched it. I was like, Mark had been down this whole time setting up. I was up there. I've got like, this is last season. There's some else.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, listeners.
But to quote...
Sarah's been spoiled slightly.
I have no idea.
I tried. I'm sorry. I failed.
Yeah. I don't know when. At what
no,
point
you don't. You still don't know when. Yeah.
I still don't know when. But I had a feeling that he was going to go soon.
Okay, well, let's talk about that in a bit.
But hang on, sorry, just to quote Patrick Troughton, / the extras, it's the same stories. Like, he even says it's like all the stories are getting the same and repetitive, and this is the same.
Okay, I didn't realise he said that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Wow.
And then you walked up and they went, I was like, wait 1 minute. And then he said it. You were like, no.
Just switched off the TV like straight away. Sorry, that's it. You're not watching anymore.
I kind of want to watch the rest of that now, though.
Oh, no, because I don't know what other spoilers are in there.
That's your own fault. But what I was enjoying about the extras was they were explaining... In fact, I definitely shouldn't. They basically seem to be explaining from the brief bit that I watched why this was his last season and what all the issues were.
Right, okay.
So they go back. So
do tell us.
Well, no, I can only tell you the first few minutes.
Tell us what you learned.
So then, because he was saying that they're all getting a bit same. So he decided this was going to be his last season, and he said the issue started. Let's go back to this episode, and it was the Yeti one.
Yeah.
So they were going back to there. So I'm intrigued because they obviously were going to go through these episodes to...
Okay, well, maybe we can finish watching it sometime.
Maybe.
The issue started at the Abominable Snowmen.
Yeah.
For us all.
For us all. But also that shows like how bad the Abominable Snowmen were. And he said like after Victoria he decided this was going to be his last season. So I just don't know when he goes.
Okay, well, there we are. We'll find out, won't we?
Because I never know how long... Like, you just tell me at what point, and this is the... I don't even
said.
So you can't say...
Even in our scheduling meetings, I've not said how many weeks this season goes on for.
Exactly. So you can't say this is the last one of this season because I don't know.
I'm not going to say.
No, that's the only, secret to me now when it happens.
To be fair, I'm... amazed at how spoiler free you have remained throughout all of this.
I know, aren't you proud?
There's only a few things have slipped in like that by accident when I've accidentally put a DVD extra on or something. The most important thing, and I can't believe we didn't even start with this, are you disappointed that the Master of the Land of Fiction did not become a companion when the TARDIS got put back together?
Gosh.
He could have been in. Imagine if he was in this.
What I would have liked is for him just to come with them.
He could have helped. He could have been like, and the Cybermen got blown up.
I just wanted him to come back to a time. That's all I want.
Well, he did. He went. He just didn't see it on screen, did you?
So does that make him a companion?
He's not a companion. No,
because he travelled, Mark.
He is not in the invasion. He is not a companion.
But that's what I wanted.
He could have dropped him off in that field.
That's what I wanted. I wanted them to drop him off.
Yeah.
On Earth and be like, right, here you are.
No, it's because what happened is the TARDIS goes back to the beginning. In the animation, okay, I shouldn't be annoyed, but it's just these little things. So Zoe should have been back in a glittery outfit, you see. Right. But they didn't animate that.
Okay.
So when she's back, she's in... So she starts off in the clothes watch. Here we go. She's supposed to be in a glittery outfit.
Right.
Her spinning around catsuit. And... then when she goes to Isobel's and she says, I'll put on this gear with a feather boa and stuff, I'll take your photo. That's when she gets into her other outfit. And that's why later on she changes back, you see. But when they animated it, for whatever reason, they didn't do it. So she starts off in the wrong outfit, which is a minor thing, but it's just one of those things when I just notice it every time now.
Okay.
But they're in the TARDIS, and then they have that whole thing in space where there's something on the dark side of the moon and there's a missile coming towards them, and then they have to do an emergency landing.
Yeah.
So they didn't have time to mess around with the Master of the Land of Fiction.
Well, I would have liked it. All I wanted him was to come back to Earth and then kind of like what I hoped would happen with Katarina. Off you go on your way. But, she
with Katarina?
Yeah. Instead she's just going to get, button and go into space.
She died. It's a bit different than dropping him off and not seeing him.
I hoped for Katerina, that they were just going to drop her off. I hope that like they're going to be like, this ain't working out, let's leave her here.
Right, okay.
But they didn't. Instead, she died.
Okay. We're still not over it. Yeah.
She discovered buttons.
Right. So there's this whole dark side of the moon thing, missile. The TARDIS is invisible for no reason. Cows in the field. It's nice to see some animals, I thought. Man of Fiction would have enjoyed that. Yeah. And then there's this whole thing where they're like, oh, let's visit Travers and Anne, which is nice. But obviously they're not there.
Yeah.
And you have all this sort of spy. We go back to, it reminded me of the beginning of Evil of the Daleks with the Doctor and Jamie.
Okay, so I'm with you. It was nice. I'm really glad that they weren't there. It was like a nice...
You're glad that they...
Well, no,
Let's
but
just visit Travers and Anne. Oh, I'm glad.
It was...
They're gone.
It was nice to have that sort of throwback of something that...
Well, continuity, yeah. There are people that come back. Like Travers again would be great.
But 3 times in such a short space of time is a lot. So I'm glad they weren't, because I'd have been like... Okay, these guys again. I'm glad it was another person.
Well, I think it was planned. I don't know what the reason is, if it was the actor availability or they just changed it. But you've got Professor Watkins and Isobel. We go straight into this thing with Isobel being the photographer.
Yeah.
And come on, she's been added to the list. Isobel.
Yeah, she's on your list. She ain't on mine.
She is. She's a bit of Polly and a bit of Samantha, but the good bits.
My uncle worked at the Cavendish labs. He wanted to do some work, so Professor Travers said he could use his daughter's lab here. And I moved in because I got kicked out of my studio last week.
She started so strong, and then it got really weak.
She's their way into the story, isn't it? So
completely. But it's just a shame because it was such a strong start, and it was so much fun. Like I text you, like she reminds me of Polly without being Annika Rice. Like
Annika Wills.
Annika Wills. Or Annika Rice.
That would be amazing. Oh my god.
Or Annika Rice. She's not Annika Rice. She's not Annika Wills. She's. But like what Polly, when I think of that first story with Polly, what Polly was.
Yeah, but I like that she Isabel's a photographer and she's got a flat.
Oh, yeah, she's obviously supposed to be like in her 60s and quirky. You know, she writes on the wall.
Yeah, I love all that. I think it's really cool.
Like I say, I do, and it was a really strong start that became nothing.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much for her to go apart from once she's like, I'm a photographer. That's her character, basically.
Yeah.
But it's her uncle. No. Yeah. Is it her uncle? Yeah, it's her uncle that's. Yeah. That's been captured.
If I think of Samantha, all she had was, I'm trying to find my brother.
Yeah, right? I suppose so.
And she had much more impact.
She had a cool hat. That's the impact.
I mean, she was more than a hat, though, Mark.
Yeah, no, she was. And she had that thing with Jamie and everything.
Yeah.
But she has this nice... Isobel has a nice friendship with Zoe in this a lot, and they sort of gang up on Jamie. And,
I enjoyed that.
And she's taking the photos, and she's like, not you, Jamie. Like, she wants to take you. And so she gives Zoe this outfit and this feather boa, this clothes watch too. This feather boa. I mean, I've seen there's some like colour pictures of filming. It's like bright green.
Really?
It's
well, it must have been for black
neon,
and white.
Neon.
It must have been for black and white.
She wears it throughout the rest of this story, basically. You'd think she'd take it off, this feather boa.
She's happy in a feather boa, Mark. She's living life in a feather boa. Look, she loves a bit of sparkle, does Zoe? Sparkly jumpsuit.
I know.
Feather boa.
But you just think,
she's like waiting for the 70s to hit.
Zoe stays again. She's happy just to be like, oh yeah, I'll stay. I'm not bothered. And they have a gramophone and sandwiches and have a great time.
Nice and normal.
Yeah. Zoe split up very quickly again. The Doctor and Jamie go to International Electromatics.
Right.
Do you know what? We've forgotten something.
What?
We have forgotten. It's been so long since we recorded. We've forgotten the most important thing.
Oh, it was in the intro!
No! Again! Oh, I'm really sorry, everyone. These have been really rubbish intro. The Mind Robber one was a bit weird. Oh, we've done it again.
Well,
because I had a whole thing.
You.
I was going to be like,
I don't.
I was going to phone up International Electromatics and be like, can I speak to Sarah, please? And they'll be like, Sarah's not available.
Do you want to do that anyway now, Mark?
No, we'll do it at the end.
Okay.
We'll do it at the end. But we're in Isabel's flat. We're in Isabel's flat.
Okay.
That's where we are. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's gone wrong. We'll start again next week. Sorry, everyone. I always forget.
Mark,
I don't know what's happened.
You need to start making notes of like what we do.
I make
what we
all the
do,
notes. I make all the notes of the story, but I forget all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, so then we meet Tobias Vaughan.
You can go, Packer.
But Mr. Vaughan...
Thank you, Packer. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I must apologize for Packer's crude devotion to duty. But your method of entry into my building was rather unconventional, wasn't it?
Well, there was no need for all that gas.
So Tobias Vaughan, he's a very James Bond villain. But then Mavic Chen sort of wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great. He's a great actor.
He's just a great actor at being a villain.
Who do you like best, though, Mavic Chen or Vaughan?
Chen.
Yeah.
Easily. Like, he's just more substance to him.
Why didn't Chen win a Oscar?
Who else was in that season?
I think Marga won a Oscar.
No.
It was Marga.
It was Mavic Chen.
It was Marga.
Yeah, but Marga was great.
Yeah, but Mavic Chen should have won.
No, Mark,
I can't believe there was no... Why was there no uproar at this? Why was there no controversy at that?
I think there was.
Anyway, but he's a great actor, and like it's great for him to come back.
Oh, yeah.
And he is recognised... He's sort of playing the same kind of guy, isn't he, basically?
Yeah. They're like, we've got a baddie that thinks he's in control, but actually isn't.
Mavic Chen.
Mavic Chen.
And this actor, he's worked with the Daleks and he's worked with the Cybermen. He must be like, yes, this is great. Sure. And he's done long stories as well. He's getting paid.
And they're like, oh, and it's a long story. Let's get the same guy in.
Yeah.
That's what they're thinking. He'll be able to cope. Is he really thinking, oh, God, this is great. Been with the Daleks, now the Cybermen. CB tick.
And he's got his sidekick, Packer.
Yeah. Who's no
Carlton.
Who's no Carlton.
Packer. Packer.
Packer.
Yeah, you've got that sort of useless... I don't like Packer.
No,
He's
don't.
really annoying, and he's useless, and he's...
He's not useless. If anything, he's the most, like... It just shows how bad Vaughan is. Is it Vaughan?
Vaughan, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say Mavic Chen. I really wanted to, and I was like, no, don't. You've got to correct yourself. It just shows how bad he is, because, like, a lot of what he suggests is pretty accurate. He's like, we should get rid of him. He's like, no. He's like, well, he's going to cause us trouble. And he's right. The Doctor does always cause some trouble. He's like, if he was in charge, it'd be a very different story.
So the Doctor and Jamie sit down and meet Vaughan. He gives Jamie a little radio, and Jamie's quite impressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jamie's like the sidekick again with the Doctor. They work really well, don't they? They have so many scenes together.
They do. But it really annoyed me with that, because I was like, you have done so many stories now, Jamie. You are like senior in this now. And you basically have fallen for the easiest trap. Like, why are you so... Like, this guy that is obviously quite dodgy, he's too nice.
Yeah, but they realise that. They go into that knowing that's the situation, don't they?
Yeah, but Jamie's like, oh, thanks. And he's like, what are you doing to my... Hey, don't destroy... I can't do a Scottish accent, but I'm trying to think... Don't destroy my thing now. And that was the worst.
That's terrible.
That terrible.
That can just stay with you. We know we shouldn't do accents here.
We know we shouldn't.
No, he's just impressed. He's like, here, this... No. I stopped myself there. He's impressed that it's like an electronic thing. Jamie's always going to be impressed by that stuff.
Yeah, but he should know. It's been long enough. He should know, like... He should question, why am I being given this? I would. It's literally the first thing I was like, there's something dodgy about that.
And I was playing but he likes playing the music. And then the Doctor's like, no, switch it off.
Yeah, because the Doctor's not stupid. He knows that, like, something's dodgy. Like, that guy was too nice. I mean, you know, they know that that place has issues. And they know that that guy's running that place. And this guy's like, oh, yeah, here you go. Off you pop. No worries. No one gets... And they know that's not the case. And he's just like... Oh, cheers, mate. He's not Australian. Okay. But I was just kind of like, come on, Jamie.
And well, then at the end of the episode, you find out that Vaughan is dodgy because the wall moves up and we see... Well, it's the cyber microphone sort of from the Wheel in Space, but made bigger now, which I don't really like. I said it looks like a drinks cabinet and the optics for the cocktail spirit maker thing. It's a big drinks cabinet that lights up, basically.
Yeah.
/ cyber controller. It's
yeah, it's just a bit naff. It is what it is, though, isn't it?
And then there's so many scenes of him just talking to this cabinet. and it's not.
They probably thought that actor is really good at playing against a Dalek that doesn't do anything, like has no face. Let's stick him against Drinks Cabinet; he'll be fine. This actor's perfect.
Do you know what'd be cool if, like, there was like the top floor of International Electromatics, and they get up there and there's a big boardroom table and it's all the delegates from Dalek's Master Plan.
Most of them are dead, aren't they?
Well, yeah, all different ones, and they're all like, "We're controlling everything." That would be cool.
It needed a twist in this story.
Yeah. So then we meet Brigadier.
How nice to see you again, Doctor.
It's Colonel Lethbridge Stewart.
Brigadier now. I've gone up in the world.
Of course, the Yetis. We met you in
That's right, McCrimmon in the Underground. Must be 4 years ago now.
How long? It only seems like a couple of weeks ago, doesn't it?
I enjoyed him coming back.
I didn't say that he was coming back.
No.
And I didn't ask you if you remembered him. I wasn't sure if you would, because you didn't really remember him when we watched The Web of Fear.
Yeah, but he was quite, like...
He came in sort of halfway through.
Yeah, and I remembered him in terms of, like, trying to take... Like, his character trying to take charge and what he did.
So this unit now that are there to investigate these things, and they're, like, the army side of things to do this. Obviously, he remembers the Doctor and Jamie. It's been 4 years.
Is unit a thing, then, now?
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like unit would be something that we'd have in New Who as well.
Well, yes... It does appear in like, New Who as well.
Yeah, as in it's
I'm not going to
say.
Well, I'm not going to say it's a thing.
No, you can't.
I'll just say it's a thing.
I feel like
it
makes sense to be a thing.
It's
now.
A thing. Yes.
In fact, I wish they'd made more of it being a thing in this, because then it would feel like a cool thing.
Well, it was made of a thing. There was a lot of unit stuff happening.
Yeah, but I like a bit more excitement about why it was created. Like you saying that then, I'm more interested.
So the Brigadier's like, all this stuff happened in the Web of Fear, so we've set up this unit for weird stuff.
So, maybe some of the things they've managed to find. I don't know, something.
Well, it's only just set up, so you know. And I don't know what they do when the Doctor's not around. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was a bit.
But do you like the character of the Brigadier?
I mean, he works for this. It was a good...
He's on his microphone a lot of time. Yeah.
I enjoyed it because I was like, it was a nicer... I'm glad it was him and not Anne and Travers. If I had the third showing of Travers...
the third showing.
The third showing of Travers.
The third showing of Travers and Anne, the movie.
That sounds like a horror film.
Yeah.
The third showing of Travers. The thing is, Travers is great, and it was so nice to see him a second time. It was like, oh, a nice little throwback. That's nice. But this soon again, I'd just be like, come on.
There's a whole spin-off books of Travers.
And I liked as well, but like, I don't know. We've got Zoe now, so like, I don't need the smart girl around.
I think...
in the nicest way.
There's a whole book series of Travers travelling with H.G. Wells.
I'm
Which
sure.
I've not read.
I'm sure someone will tell us.
There's a whole universe of Travers and Anne basically out there, so they don't need to come back.
No, whereas like actually the Brigadier, it was a really nice. It fit really well because it does make sense that like that would be a thing, and he did experience it, and it was nice to have that connection where it's not another story of the person in charge having to be convinced that these things are true.
Exactly, it cuts to the
chase
of that.
It just cuts to the chase, yeah.
Which we needed. Zoe and Isobel at reception, I like that. When they go off, and do their thing.
Yeah.
Zoe uses her computer
I enjoyed
stuff
that.
again
That was
to do all that. She's still very computer-like. She knows her stuff. That hasn't sort of depleted.
No. And I liked that. I enjoyed her like, I'm not being beaten by this. Like that sort of attitude. I enjoyed that.
And like,
whereas like the Doctor was like old man fiddly, like frustrated by like, machines.
Yeah. But then Zoe's got something to do then.
Yeah.
And then Zoe and Isobel are off for a bit because Wendy Padbury is on holiday for episode 3 or 4 or something. So they get put in these crates and disappear.
Which I didn't even notice. So this was interesting. I didn't notice she was missing. I knew, but I think it's because they gave her a really suitable way out that then I'm focusing on them trying to get them back. I don't need to see her in a crate.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, we see the feather boa sort of hanging out. That's how they know. I've put Jamie... You described Jamie as a shover in terms of fighting.
Oh, right.
The other time. So I wrote Jamie as a shover because he shoves Packer out the way, I think.
Yeah.
He proper shoves him.
He doesn't get involved. Whereas, like, Ben, for example, would be like, in
Ben's
there.
A shover.
No. Ben would have, like, a gun and, like, attack. Whereas, like... Jamie is it's almost like cowardly. He's kind of like, oh, away from me.
There's a lot of chasing around. There's a lot of back and forth in and out this building. There's a whole thing where they have to rescue Isobel and Zoe from the building. More helicopter action.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
We've had so much helicopter stuff.
It's all the
from
same.
Enemy of the World, from Fury from the Deep. There's a whole episode dedicated to this helicopter rescue. I feel like in this last year, watching Doctor Who, and I watched all of Treasure Hunt with Annika Rice. I've watched more helicopter on TV than I ever have in my whole life. Because I've watched so much helicopter action.
Do you know what? I didn't told you about my dream.
Right.
Oh gosh, now let me get this right. I wrote it down. I was staying with a lot of ex-Scientology members in a compound. Right.
Okay.
And it was being attacked constantly by like Scientology, which is why I knew the people there were ex-Scientology. And then we were going out to like a ball of some sort, and we got picked up in this car, but this car was actually a helicopter.
Right.
So we like had to get in it, and it like could go to a cliff, and then it like jump off, but it never like got off. It just basically would just go back down. Like, okay, I've got to try again. Couldn't get the propeller things to work on the helicopter. And then I did this like 3 times, and there was one we were really high up, hoping to catch the wind, because apparently that seems to be a thing in this dream. And instead we sort of glided down, and then landed in a field with stray dogs, like loads of stray dogs, but like some had puppies and stuff. And then I woke up.
Was this after you'd watched part 3 of The Invasion?
Maybe. I don't know.
It says if they land in a field, there's a helicopter.
Yeah.
There's like people in a building.
Was it? It was a while ago. It was over a week ago. It was a week ago.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it was. That's
Yeah.
your interpretation of this story.
Like some things I could explain the dogs, because I'd just been, before I went to sleep, looking at dogs in Bosnia, stray dogs. So just looking at lots of stray dogs in Bosnia. And
do you remember when we watched that video of the dog with no face?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say, as soon as I mentioned that, I knew. Well, it's because you were, just for listeners, Mark was late for work one day, and I was like, "You're right, you're late," and you went, "Yeah, I just watched this video of this dog and it had no face," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, you didn't." It's like it had a face. No, it didn't have a face. Like it was gone, and it was really long, and like I cried, and that's why I'm late. And I was like, I don't believe there's a dog out there with no face.
And we watched it at lunchtime.
And then we watched it at lunchtime. We found it.
And there was a dog with no face.
It didn't have a face. I mean, it had a skull.
It survived and it was fine. And it got a face in the end.
Yeah.
But
it didn't have a face.
It didn't have a face. There we go. Yeah, sorry, I knew.
I wasn't thinking that, but the minute I said Bosnia and dogs.
Dogsnia. Right. Anyway, we got sidetracked with the helicopters.
God, yeah.
So Professor Watkins is hostage. I like the fact, did you pick up that Vaughan's office is the same in one location and the other? So they just basically use the same set. Basically, they leave International Electromatics.
Right.
And then they go somewhere else to like, they're either in London and they go out or they come back.
I did not
And he's like,
that.
It's the same office. He's like, yeah, I like to have uniformality. Is that a word? Uniformity. Uniformality.
I don't know.
Anyway, he likes uniformity. No.
He likes things to be uniform.
He likes things to be uniform. So,
or the
but
same.
It's basically just using the same set.
And by chance, that like Cyberman machine is also.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure which one. I think that's in London because you can see Big Ben out the window in the background.
Of course.
I like the bit with the lift chase where the Doctor and Jamie are in the lift and they're climbing up, and that's a good bit of sort of action. There's a lot of action actually, but this is weird.
The start is great.
There's a lot of action, but it's very slow.
But the first 3 were really quick for me.
Yeah, I suppose so. But there's the mystery and it's.
I nearly did 4, and I was like, "Don't rush it." 8 episodes, and then like 4 was just.
Yeah, 5, I suppose end of 3 starts really well because that's Jamie in the Jamie hides in that cylinder thing, and there's something moving, and you're like, okay, that's interesting. It does slow down then, and it's a few episodes too long. Even I think that
it could be a 6.
Yeah,
and you could have the Daleks come in at like
Cybermen.
Sorry, say that again. And you could have the Cybermen come in.
Just keep that in. I always keep those bits in.
Thanks, Mark. Then you can have the Cybermen come in at like end of 3, and then you only have 4, 5, 6 with them. So you have half a story of Cybermen. That would be fine. I think that's the thing. Actually, they get them out. We still have not met what the antagonist is. That's what annoys me.
There's lots of good bits. They just don't all go together. So you've like the helicopter bit is interesting. Oh, okay, the beginning bit's interesting. The helicopter bit's interesting. The lift bit is interesting. The Cyberman getting the emotion and being like this. They're doing something a little bit different with the Cybermen.
Yeah.
You know, and it's down in the sewer, and then. I liked it when Zoe, Jamie and Isobel went off to investigate together.
I enjoyed that.
And you know when they go down in the sewer in that bit of the road? I looked up on the Doctor locations. That is still there. And you can see the things in the road there. I'm like, I'm going to go to that thing. It's just around the corner from Liverpool Street, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I can find that. And Isabel's house still looks the same. I'm going to go to all those places, I think.
Sure.
You could do a whole day out invasion, location hunting. I just want to go to that grill.
Okay.
I won't go down, but that's where they went.
I'll get a picture of you pointing. Like,
yeah. So, I mean, that's how I started looking up location stuff while I was watching. That's why.
Yeah. But
yeah, they're all good points.
Yeah.
And the end, the ending with there's a lot of action and the army, the unit stuff.
The whole thing of them going to get those pictures, because we have a whole section like, you can't do that, you're a woman. And Jamie makes the sexist comments, which are, again, really un-Jamie, but whatever, it's happened.
No,
and then,
Jamie, talking to Victoria and the Ice Warriors, it's in character.
It is, but it's weird that it only started then.
Bigoted, idiotic.
Well, he's right,
Jamie the criminal.
Well, he is.
Well, just because you're a man, you think you're superior, do you?
No, I didn't say that. Of course, it's true.
Is it really?
Well, it's him up against Isobel and Zoe, isn't it? So he's gonna,
I don't know. I just find it's a really... When I think of, like, him with Polly, for example, he wasn't like that.
Oh, he wouldn't dare.
Oh, exactly. But it just shows his, like...
Imagine if they went back to London and they met up with Polly.
Oh.
And Polly's like, I'm a photographer now in fashion.
Do you know what, though? I prefer that. I think that would, because that's kind of what...
And she's met the Cybermen before, so she knows...
Is it Imogen? Isobel. No, she
I really like... She is. She's in my list. She's there.
You heard it here. Yeah.
She's in the list. I'll tell you my ultimate list.
Tell me now.
Oh, well, I can't... Well, where does it start? Well, okay. I suppose it starts with Sabitha.
Yeah.
If we're talking about women in Who right now, the list of the ultimate women in Who, it starts with Sabitha, of all people.
Because she's fucking great.
Sabitha. And then it sort of skips to Edith, doesn't it? I mean, we're talking top. We're talking top here.
Okay,
Edith, fair. Katerina. Actually, there's not that many, is there? And then who do we have?
Samantha.
Kirsty. Samantha. I don't know if I should include Tanya.
What about Sarah Super Trooper?
Sarah Kingdom, of course. Yeah, I need to write these down.
Yeah.
Okay, there's not as many as I thought. You always think that there's more. Miss Garrett.
Miss Garrett. Wingedly Miss Garrett. Miss Garrett is still the most random one. And we both don't know why, but
Miss
we're for
Garrett,
it.
Tanya probably as well. And now we've got Isobel.
But what's interesting...
I'm always excited when they come... because I knew Isobel was in this. I was like, yes, I cannot wait to talk about Isobel because I know she's going to be one that we're going to want to talk about. And, okay, while we're talking about it, we love a romance. Well, sort of.
Leo Ryan.
We love Leo Ryan and Tanya romance. Isobel and Captain... Well... Jimmy or whatever he's called.
You missed Astrid out.
Astrid, exactly. I can't think right now. It's
interesting.
My exhaustion. I really cannot think very well at the moment.
It's interesting that between Sabitha, there's such a huge gap.
Okay, well, you could...
Do you think, when we come back to this in a year...
but you could put,
Do you think some of those... Who you mentioned one, I was like, I don't even remember who that was.
Kirsty?
No, I remember Kirsty. Oh. Then who did you say?
Samantha, Miss Garrett. Tanya.
Tanya? Who's Tanya?
Leo Ryan and Tanya.
Oh, yeah, but they're a pair. They're not. You can't have them as like a separate.
Okay, we've got pairs and we've got women.
Yeah,
haven't we?
The women. But
it's interesting because we talk about the women like Miss Garrett and Kirsty and all this.
Yeah.
And then Isobel in this because the men in this, you got Packer
and
Jimmy
really hate.
And Benton.
Yeah.
And The Brigadier,
the Brigadier.
The men,
He's just the Brigadier.
They're just not interesting characters. We haven't had. I mean, okay, we had Altos was. But
even this uncle, whenever he was on the screen, I was like, "Who are you?
Who's this uncle?
Who are you?"
It's just the women characters stand out more. They're just more that we would talk about. That's why I've got this list.
And it's not a complete because we have nothing in the world can stop me now.
Zara, I don't know. They're just not the same as talking about Colin and Mary or Edith. I mean, we don't talk about Edith.
Okay,
we don't talk about
never talk about
Eldrad
Edith.
From Time Meddler.
No. But I never, ever talk about Edith. You talk about Edith.
No, because she's memorable and...
For you.
Yeah, I don't know.
We talk about Altos and Sabitha.
Yeah.
And we talk about Colin and Mary.
Yeah. And now we've got Leo... We need to do the couples list.
Yeah.
Leo, Ryan. Leo, Ryan and Tanya.
He's one name. He's the only character in the whole of Doctor Who that we've ever referred to in one name.
That's his name. It's a space name, Leo Ryan. Leo, Ryan and Tanya. And now we've got Isobel and Jimmy.
OMG. Right. I want Leo Ryan t-shirt, but him
Anne Chaplet. Sorry.
Oh, no, not Anne. Fuck Anne.
You want a t-shirt with Leo Ryan on?
Yeah, but him looking like... did you ever watch Futurama?
Yeah.
What's the captain?
Oh, right, yeah,
He kind of looks like him.
Okay, yeah.
I want Leo Ryan.
I will try and make...
In that style.
Okay, there we go. Leo Ryan t-shirts, everyone.
I fan Leo Ryan. I stan Leo Ryan.
I fan Leo Ryan.
I fan Leo Ryan.
And then the little Tanya in the corner.
Yeah, just her Tanya.
Nose.
My nose. Oh my gosh. No, we are so struggling with this episode.
But Isobel and this captain, they have some nice chats.
They do.
And they're going out by the end of it.
Yeah, she runs off like a frolicking little girl. So you do have that
throughout 8 episodes. There is enough time at least to have that.
Yeah.
So that's nice. I like that.
Sure.
Oh, do you know what? When they go down in the sewer, the only thing about Isobel, which I don't know, I think if this was like Susan or Barbara, you'd have a problem. Isobel is like, right, I'm going to disobey. I'm going to go down to the sewer.
Yeah.
Drags Jamie and Zoe. Benton drives them as well, probably gets into trouble. That policeman follows them, gets killed. The army has to rescue them.
Yeah.
A unit soldier gets killed. And then by the time they get the photographs, they're like, oh, these are really shit photographs. We can't use them anyway. That whole thing is completely pointless. And 2 people died because Isobel ran off.
But I'm fine with that because...
What? Yeah, hang on. If that was Susan, you would be ranting right now.
Yeah, but I'm fine with it because there's so much sexism before it. I'm like, you go, girls.
No.
What are you on about? The guy's like, no, you're a woman. You can't do that. He basically says that. In fact, I'm pretty sure that was
that drives her off to go and do it.
Exactly. And then even Jamie's like, no, ladies, you stay here. So when they're like, oh, fine, we're going, like, stuff you.
No, I feel sorry for that policeman, that's all, because he's like, hello, what's going on here then?
But he didn't know. Like, that's a casualty of a situation. So the difference is Susan would have just been like they go with a defiance. So like there's a defiance to it. If it had been like she wasn't a photographer, she wouldn't have gone. It's only because he was like, you're a woman, you can't do that they do it.
Right, okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
See.
Whereas like probably with Susan it would have been, or someone, it would have been best if you stay here. And then she'd be like, no, she defines it on herself, sort of thing. Like, no, I'm going to go. But for no other reason than, like, maybe for your own safety, you should stay here. But that's not what happens. They're like, you're a woman, you can't do it. That's have to stay here. That's the Brigadier's
character, though, as well.
Yeah, so I'm, like, all for, like, them going off. And, like, do you know what? If the men die in the process, so be it. Girl power.
So Jamie hurts his leg, I've written here, and he has to go to sleep in part 6 for a little while.
Yeah.
Isobel makes tea. They're all at her flat, and we couldn't work out why they ended all up at her flat.
But they did.
And then we have the Cybermen invasion of Earth, basically. Empty London again.
Yeah.
Cybermen coming from St. Paul's is their iconic moment.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Them coming, and you see St. Paul's, and it's still, that is the shot of the whole thing, the memorable thing. That's cool, surely. You thought?
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Look, there was a lot of good stuff in this story. It could have just all been the good stuff condensed. Because there was a lot of just talking on phones and watching things and waiting for stuff to happen. Nothing. Yeah.
So when they're coming from St Paul's, whenever I go around St Paul's, I'm like, I'm going to find out where, like, I end up walking round St Paul's in the area, like, which bit is this? Where are they? So those steps aren't there anymore. That's what I worked out. It's sort of more of a slope now.
Yeah, it's more pedestrian around there.
It's more pedestrian around there. So whenever I go, I'm like, where are these steps? I can't find these steps. I'm walking around St Paul's all the time. And like, I've finally worked out that it's more of a, but that's a good location to visit.
Yeah.
Have you been in St Paul's?
Yes.
Have you been at the Whispering Gallery, which is the top?
No. Basically, I have a thing about paying to go and see churches. I won't do it.
It's free, isn't it?
No, you have to pay.
Oh, I haven't been for like a year.
So
I'm talking like,
I'll only go on a Sunday
15.
when you don't have to pay.
Oh, okay. I don't know when
I cannot. I understand why, but for what should be like. The whole point is that if you could go to church, you feel like you need to go to church. Why do I have to pay like £2 or £3 to go into it? When on a Sunday, I can just go to a service for free.
Is it because it's a touristy thing?
It's the same with Westminster, you have to pay. Loads of places, like Bath Abbey, you have to pay. Loads of places you have to pay. And I just won't do it. I'm like,
isn't it more they ask for a donation than pay?
You have to pay. I would much rather they ask for a donation. Most places ask for most churches and cathedrals have donation. Like, when you go to a wedding and you give some money at the end or whatever, or at Blackburn, because that's where I'm from, the cathedral there. You go in the door, there's like a round thing and you can put your donations in. But you can go in, it's free.
Yeah, of course.
So I have this big thing of like, I refuse to pay to go and look around something that in theory is there for anyone to go for. I
see what you mean.
I'm really against it. So I will happily give a donation because the whole point is for the upkeep. And their argument is that all that money goes to the upkeep, but I'd rather donate into these buildings.
When you got, I see what you mean.
So
I don't remember.
No, because I've been on a Sunday.
Okay. I
go to a service. That's why.
Because I went. I don't know. I don't really remember. I remember going. You go round and round. You go. It's right at the top. The Whispering Gallery is so high. And looking down. I love looking down. Like I like heights.
Yeah.
But it's very like.
Yeah.
There's a really nice place. I don't know if you've been in Trafalgar Square. You've got the National Gallery, and then sort of to the side there's a National Portrait Gallery.
Yeah.
And then opposite, what is it called? There's a church of, it's quite a famous name.
St Martin's.
St Martin's, is it?
I don't know.
I think
but that is a famous
St Martin's. But it's weird because, I've been to that, it's like a bar restaurant downstairs in the basement.
Oh, it could be then, yeah.
Because there's these glass doors, and you go down. Yeah. I've not actually been into, if it's a church or not, I've just been to the bar.
Yeah.
But that's a really nice place to go because you go down and it's this huge bar, like in this basement.
Probably is.
You have a nice glass of wine.
St Martin's does a lot of concerts and things.
I know someone that works around there, and we usually meet up and then go there, and it's packed. But it's really nice down there.
Is that now?
Yeah, it looks really weird.
St
Martin's in the Fields, that's it. Because there's sort of a churchy columny building, but then there's just this glass sort of elevator that goes into the ground, and that's where you go to the bar. Anyway, that's nice. Oh, and also, just while we're talking about London stuff, the National Portrait Gallery.
Yeah.
They did this really amazing. I talked about this at work when after. They did it's called the late shift, where it's open at night time.
Oh.
And you can walk around, and there's like people playing music. There's like drawing classes in the thing. There's like someone making cocktails in the middle of the thing.
Yes.
It's like this sort of. I used to be on a Thursday night, the late shift. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Because I was in work, and I was like, let's do the late shift and have like stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to do that. Oh, I miss stuff like that.
So Cardiff Museum does that now.
Oh, does it?
They do late nights. I mean, they did. Nothing's happening right now. Because they used to do themed ones, though. So, like Valentine's, they had disco and like the galleries and stuff. Yeah. And they did like a Halloween one.
Oh, yeah, I love that
And I think the Halloween one was when they had the T-Rex.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
It was around the same time. So they do things. But they're more themed than just... It's like an event of.
Let's do a Cybermen night at St Paul's Cathedral.
Yeah, I'm sure if they're listening,
ask for donations.
I'm sure if anyone's listening.
Anyway, we could better go. So St Paul's, London, Cybermen, iconic. It's a shame the invasion stuff doesn't go on for long because what you see them walk out St Paul's. You see about 4 people look shocked. And collapse, and that's it. You don't get, which I suppose, because in Dalek Invasion of Earth, it had already happened and London was deserted already, for years. Like, for years. I don't know how long, but there was no one around because everyone had been like killed.
Yeah.
But in this, it's supposed to be
There's
busy
like a
London.
noise. There's a noise because it takes the doctor out as well.
Yeah, that's the cyber
noise. Everyone, are you okay? Mark's making the noise. Yeah. Are you all okay?
Yeah, and I can't remember. Oh dear.
Mark,
right,
let's go to 7.
Okay, we're in 7. We are in 7. Steps aren't there now. Yeah, okay, we've done that. Isabel's house. Zoe helps with the missiles.
Yeah.
This really did drag because you got a whole nother lot of army people with the missiles. Zoe's doing her thing. She's doing the calculations because the army people can't. She does. Great. She's back in her spinning around outfit from the 2000s. Or whatever.
From Kylie's music video.
Spinning around on the console. There's this whole missile thing. Is it going to go hit the things in space? Is it not? And then there's a whole nother missile thing. And you think it's over. And it just sort of then just stops. The biggest thing that happened was Vaughn seeing the error of his ways.
Classic.
But he gets killed. And there's a lot of good army, Cybermen stuff. Brilliantly shot.
I said to
amazing.
You, I know we're jumping. It was worth watching 8 episodes just to watch the Patrick Troughton running with the things exploding behind.
Yeah, you like that moment.
I enjoyed that moment.
Yeah.
It was great.
And and then it just sort of finishes. Fraser Hines is on holiday in episode 8, so he's only on film. Do you know what?
That would make a great GIF for a bad day. Having a bad day.
I'm pretty sure that is a GIF. I'm pretty sure that's been made into a GIF.
If not, I want it because, like, bad day. It's great.
Yeah.
And then Fraser Hines comes back and then that's it.
That's it. And then Isobel and Jimmy wave goodbye.
Yeah, I enjoyed the TARDIS being I enjoyed how they found the TARDIS. I thought that was fun. A little bit of fun for like 30 seconds, you know.
Well, they say goodbye in this, don't they? Because sometimes they don't always.
Yeah, and you get upset at that.
Well, it was a long enough story. I better have said goodbye after all this. You shouldn't see what happens to the uncle?
Oh, like, honestly, Mark, if he, like, walked in this room now, I wouldn't know who he was.
Special guest. Professor Watkins.
Who? Like, honestly, even when I was watching it, I kept thinking, I've got to try and remember who Professor Watkins is. And then I'd forget him again. I'd be like, who's this? Oh, wait, yeah. This needs to end.
Okay, all right, okay. Let's sum it up. So you...
Hang on, don't you want to do your little... get us out of here?
No, we're not going just yet.
Oh, right, sorry.
A few more minutes, everyone. How much did you enjoy this then?
6.
6 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of 12.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible.
Can you imagine if 12 was our life?
Yeah.
For no reason. No,
so you're still enjoying Zoe and Jamie?
Yeah.
As a team?
Yeah.
It's funny. So Jamie has done only one more story than the Doctor.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens next, because I feel like this season is slowly getting a bit more... I mean, it's been up and down, hasn't it? Dominators, Mind Robber, amazing.
Yeah.
This one, a bit... yeah, I mean, you can see that... It's up and down so far.
Yeah.
So the next story is called The Crotons.
Oh, okay. I feel like it's in the future.
Yeah.
And then there's some, like, I don't know, alien-y, but they're tinny.
Okay. We'll see. It's only 4 episodes, so it's a bit easier to get through. Do you like it when they're back on Earth like this?
No.
In this one? You don't?
No.
You prefer sort of... if you were going to choose, like, this sort of Web of Fear invasion style or a Dominator-y, Ice Warriors-y thing, what would you...
I prefer the future ones.
You prefer the future? That's interesting.
Yeah, or the past, but not the present.
Well, we don't really go to the past anymore.
No, but the present's very... Like, just never much happens. We're always in the same location. There'll be like an cool outdoorsy shot, like to show that they're in the present, but otherwise they're just in the studio.
Okay, that's interesting to know.
The best, and it was not even future, it was just really cool. The best future-y one, present one, not present one, the best present one was when they were all made to the size of ants.
Planet of Giants.
Yeah, I freaking love
Still
Planet of Giants.
Coming back in our memories.
I love Planet
of Giants.
Yes.
We need another Planet of Giants. We need another Sideways, because Mind Robber was fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and you need that now and then just to break it up.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens in the Crotons.
Yeah.
And also, I'm telling you now that it's Thursday today, and we have till Tuesday to watch the Crotons because of our scheduling.
Our scheduling.
Our
and we're also
scheduling.
extra busy.
And we're like extra busy.
Yeah, so
we have a
late
short
nights
window
for me.
a short window of time to watch the Crotons, which I hope doesn't affect your pleasure.
Thanks.
There we go. Right, let's go. Because what were we going to say for the end?
I don't know, Mark.
Oh, do you know what? I've got this thing here. I'm going to call Unit up. We're going to get out of here in style. Helicopter's on its way, Brigadier. We finished the episode. Can you send a chopper over, please? Here it is. There we
are.
There we go. That's the way out. Helicopters all the way. So we better get in, and we will see you all next week. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at 2watchwho, and you can support us at buymeacoffee.com/2watchwho. Thank you for everybody that has supported us so far.
Yes, thank you so much.
It keeps us going through these long stories like the invasion.
Yeah.
Knowing that you support us.
Absolutely, yeah. And we hope that you're enjoying the videos that we're trying to fit in.
Yeah, and for our Katerinas, we are working on more videos at the moment. So in our schedule. It will calm down.
Just got to get through May. We both know May's really bad.
I know, it's just getting through this. So hopefully,
May's bad.
I really hope.
May and a little bit of June is really bad for us.
It's just unbelievable. Do you know what? I was thinking this. We've done this a year and a bit.
Yeah.
We have never been off schedule so far.
No.
I'm so pleased. And I'm really determined not to go off schedule. We've never had to miss a week because of whatever. We've always managed to do season, have a break season. We've managed to fit our schedule.
Yeah.
I'm determined. I'll be so upset if we do.
Yeah, and I don't want to upset Mark.
I feel like it's inevitable. One day we'll have to miss a week for whatever reason.
Like
but until then, I want to just keep
South Park
going.
creates an episode in a week, right?
Wow, really?
Yeah. So they have like I think it goes out on a Thursday. Or it goes out on a Wednesday,
because it's
like
sort
that.
of current affairs stuff.
Yeah, and then Thursday they meet and start talking, and they literally from like you could get to like Friday, sometimes Saturday, they still don't have an idea for a story, and it goes out that week. And they've only missed it once I love South Park, in like 24 seasons. They've only missed one, and it's because there was a power cut in the area, so they couldn't finish the episode.
We need to be, we are the Doctor Who South Park.
And the movie, the week before it was due to go out, they didn't like the ending, and so that we want to change the ending, like the last 10-15 minutes. And the company were like, I think it was Warner Brothers, were like, no, you can't. They were like, we do this every week. And so they completely redid the ending, like in like 3-4 days.
I'll keep that in mind.
If they can do that.
When I'm editing like the day before this is due out.
And they've managed to do episodes during the pandemic.
Yeah.
They've done hour-long specials. Yeah. They're a little bit different to us.
Oh, well, that makes me feel better now.
Yeah.
I'm on a really creaky chair today.
Are.
This has been creaking throughout the whole thing. I'm sorry if this is in the background.
It's not Mark farting.
Okay. Do you know what? We just need to get in this helicopter and go because we've talked too much.
Yeah.
I will see you all next week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
To watch who?